Hey y'all, it's your girl, the one and only Big Fucking Ranch. Yeah, big dog for real. And you're tuned into I's Got Something to Say.
Hey y'all, it's your girl, the one and only Big Fucking Ranch. And today we are going to be leveling up our vocabulary per usual. I also want to reflect on some friendships with y'all. I'm going to be sharing some of my daddy's wisdom. And what's an episode without a great dramatic story time? So let's get started. Now, if you've been watching my episodes, then you know I like to start my episodes out with I don't know who need to hear this, but and I don't know who need to hear this, but get rid of them friends. Baby, them is not your friends. Time does not determine loyalty or a true friendship. You know what I mean? And I know, like speaking from experience, I know how hard it is to get rid of friends, especially if you've had them for so long. But when you're in the midst of restructuring your life, it comes with making those hard decisions of like getting rid of friends that you've had for a long time. But it comes with the territory, people, places, and things, you know? You can't you can't begin to elevate your life to higher plateaus if you're still making yourself available to do bird bitch shit. You know what I mean? You can't straddle the fence when it comes to greatness. You have to have both feet in it. And I'm speaking again from experience, and I'll share a little bit more about that with y'all later on in this episode. All right, so that just brings us to our next segment that I call My Daddy Always Said. And my daddy always said, baby, daddy not preaching to you, daddy just talking to you. And he would always say that because he didn't want us to reject anything that he was saying if we felt like it was coming off too preachy. You know how it is when you're a kid and you naturally rebellious and you don't really want to listen to your parents, especially if you feel like it's a long lecture and it has God in it. You know how it is when you're younger and you just want to reject God, but you realize God is where it's at. That's why the Bible said, train a child up. But anyway, um, I wanted to bring this up because I received some feedback about my previous episodes, which I love. So keep it coming. And I just wanted to take this time to clarify that I'm not preaching to y'all. Okay? I'm just talking to y'all. I I be having a lot to say, and my mind, it just runs a million miles per minute. I'm literally talking to myself on a day-to-day basis. I honestly feel so bad for my kids because they be hearing this mouth. I talk to my kids all the time. I'm running ideas by them, getting their opinions on certain things. I talk to them almost like they're adults, like they're my best friends, honestly. And even when it comes to like disciplinary things, I don't really hit my kids. I talk to them because I know that talking works for me, and my kids, they are me, they come from me. So I know that whooping them really doesn't do the trick. Every now and then I gotta get on their ass because the Bible say, "Spare the rod, you spoil the child." So I be having to get on their asses. Don't get me wrong, but I be talking to them, and I just be having a lot to say, which is why I started this podcast to begin with. I always felt like I had some good shit to say. You know, and instead of me talking to myself all the time or talking to my kids, even Shakira, poor Shakira, she be having to hear me out. She just be the listening, you know. But that's why I had to start this podcast too, because I'll be having to get this shit out. And I feel like I got some good shit to say. And I don't even just say it, I walk the walk too in some cases. In some cases I can be a hypocrite because I'm in the midst of redeveloping myself as well, restructuring my life. But I know what to do, but it is sometimes hard to put one foot in front of the other. It is what it is, But that's why this is for us, y'all. You know, those who really got something to say, those who are trying to better themselves, elevate in life, and need someone who is not about to sit up here and fake the funk and act like they shit all together. No, baby, we can do this together. You feel me? We are a team. If you fuck with me, I fuck with you. And if you got some good shit to say and you can actually help me execute, I can do the same for you. You are the company you keep. So that's what this platform is for. Besides, the Bible don't allow women to preach, so we leave that to our mighty men. So please don't mistake none of this for preaching, because it's not. I'm not even holy enough, and my head not covered, so please stop. All right, y'all. Now let's move on to word of the day. So, as y'all know, word of the day is a double entendre because not only do I have a vocabulary word for you so that you can level up your diction, but I also have a Bible verse for you as well to correlate with said vocabulary word so that you can not only level up your life verbally, but you can also level up your life spiritually. So, with that, today's word of the day is disputatious. That's right, disputatious. The way that words are spelled and pronounced, you can honestly kind of figure out the meaning based on that. Disputatious, dispute, but disputatious means fond of or causing heated arguments. So you can be fond of, meaning you can like heated arguments, or you can cause heated arguments. Demons. Stop. Let me stop. No, but for real, disputatious, fond of, or causing heated arguments. I'll use that in a sentence. Sometimes being disputatious can be fun if you're debating topics and ideas and not people. Sometimes being disputatious can be fun if you're debating topics and ideas, not people. And our Bible verse for today is Titus 3:9. But avoid foolish questions, genealogies, contentions, and strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. That means believers should avoid pointless arguments, especially if they cause division and do not contribute to like your spiritual growth. There's no way in hell I'm going to sit up there and argue with anybody, I don't care who it is, about my opinions if you can't back it up with a fact. Because I believe everything that I say is a fact, especially if I can back it up. And I'm definitely not going to argue with anyone about God's laws and the Bible. It's written right there. It's a true book. So I'm going to avoid any argumentative people, any disputatious people, because I'm not about to engage as it doesn't contribute to my spiritual growth. Simple. So while we're on this positive note, we're going to head on into what I like to call repeat back our affirmations for the day. Now, going back to words have power. Let's speak life into ourselves. Let's speak nothing but positivity. Take the time out every day to say something great about yourself and really mean it. Speak it. Speak those things that be not as though they were. So, this first affirmation, I want y'all to repeat back to me. I attract loyal and meaningful friendships. That's right. I attract loyal and meaningful friendships. I am confident in my voice and my choices. Right. I am confident in my voice and my choices. Beautiful, beautiful. I speak with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Beautiful, beautiful. I speak with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Yes, yes, yes. All praises. You know what? Because everything, first of all, your tongue is a sword, okay? So everything you speak, I want you to speak it clear. I want you to be confident and know that it's a purpose behind it, whether it's for you or for the party that you're speaking to. Speak that shit, okay? And mean it. Mean it. For real. All right, y'all. Now I want to share a story time with y'all. Okay, so in my first episode, I did share with y'all how I had to sever ties with a friend that I had been friends with for damn near my entire life, right? And this is why I said I can honestly speak from experience that just because you've been friends with someone for a long time doesn't mean that they're actually your friend. That doesn't determine loyalty either. You know, when God does speak to your heart and ask you to remove or does the removing for you, when it comes to certain people, don't backtrack, you know, because it's so easy, especially being a person like me. I'm so easy to forgive and forget. Mackenzie always say, "No, ma, you forgive and you forget." I do. I don't hold grudges against people. I don't sit and dwell. I move on. If I tell you I'm over it, I'm over it. I can't stay mad long. It's in me. I don't have the ability to stay mad long or to hold anything against someone. But I also want to speak on how important it is to keep not only your circle tight, but to keep yourself around real friendships when people actually want to see you do well. I have a friend who I've been friends with her for about 10 years now, and she's sort of like an unexpected friend. I didn't intend on having her as a friend. We have like an 8-year age gap, but it turns out that she's been one of the best friends I've had when it comes to everybody that I've become friends with back home in Niagara Falls once I moved back to the town. And it's so crazy because she's so misunderstood. She's public enemy number one. And, but she is really the most genuine person. When I tell you, I can tell this girl anything. Now, mind you, I used to be afraid to be her friend because of her reputation. She had a reputation of putting your business out there. But I also knew that like there had to be some type of underlining issue, or underlining issue, because there's no way that everyone loves this person and tells this person all their business if you know that this person is going to go back and tell your business. And it kind of just reminded me of how when I used to mess with certain dudes, I would blast them on social media, but I would only blast them if I felt like they was trying to play me or play in my face. Like once they turned sour, that's when I would blast them. But it kind of ruined my reputation in a way. But when I became friends with this girl, it was times where I didn't even want to be around her unless I was with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Because like she genuinely had me frightened. I get so comfortable with people. I open up. I don't mind telling my business because can't nobody tell my story better than me, right? So like I don't mind telling my business. I'll tell you whatever I want you to know. And I used to be afraid to be around this girl, but when I tell you this girl has my whole entire heart, like when I was going through when I was going through a mental I would just say a mental breakdown when Larnell passed away. Um, I literally lost my mind. Y'all know CeeLo when he be like, I remember when, I remember when I lost my mind. How do you remember when you lost your mind? You can only remember when you lost your mind if you found your mind, right? And I can honestly say I would have never found my mind if it wasn't for this girl because she sat up there and she supported me through it all. Like everybody was calling me crazy. Everybody has something negative to say. But this girl, when I say she stood by me 10 toes down, corrected me if I needed correction, protected me if I needed protection, she didn't play about me. And that's all I ever wanted was somebody who didn't play about me because to know me is to know I give my all in my friendships. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will sit up there and go to bat. Can't nobody say nothing about you. Can't nobody deter me from dealing with you. None of that. I don't play about my friends. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so crazy that that's how it was between us because I never expected it. I mainly remember not even wanting to be friends with this girl because again of her reputation. But it turns out, y'all, she is exactly who God sent in my life cuz he knew what I was about to go through over the course of our 10-year friendship. He knew what I was getting ready to go through. And he knew that I needed someone that was as strong as this girl. Because when I tell you, this girl go through just as much and she holds fast. She's like almost unbreakable. But to know her is to know she will bend, but she won't break. You know what I mean? And I found all my strength in her. So much so, if I were to die today, Shakira knows that I don't trust nobody to take care of my kids the way that I would take care of my kids, except for her. And I really hate to get emotional because why the fuck am I crying? But I don't even consider these to be sad tears, y'all. I'm way too high vibrational to cry sad tears. But this is literally my heart speaking. Shakira changed my life. She changed my entire life. And if it weren't for her, I wouldn't have had, if it weren't for God sending her, I, I wouldn't have made it through all this time. I needed somebody in my corner who didn't judge me. I needed somebody who didn't look down on me. I needed somebody who believed in me. I needed someone who would motivate me no matter how crazy it sound. If she knew that if it made sense to me, she had enough faith in me to believe that it can happen and it can be done. Like, she'll admit that it might sound a little crazy, but I would make it make sense. And that's how she knew that I was getting ready to, or I can and I will succeed. I will obtain this goal. I will do what it is that I said I'm going to do, you know? And I think with me being that, it's what helps her to believe in herself as well. You know what I mean? And like like we are the perfect balance. You know what I mean? And I'm just so grateful to God for her because she saw so much in me that she refused to let me go, even when I let myself go, you know? And those are the type of people, that is the type of person you need in your corner. If you can find one person like that, hold on to them. If you can find two people like that, never let them go. If you can find three people like that, you've already won. And in my life, those people just happen to be Talisha, Shakira, and Tree. Hands down. Hands down. Cause that type of that type of person isn't available in every scenario of life. Coming across those type of people is very rare. You know what I mean? So you've already won if you got one. You know what I'm saying? You blessed if you got two, but you chosen if you got three. And I just thank God for having those women in my life, because they believe in me even when I don't believe in myself. And I'm just so grateful to the Most High because he has been giving me day after day to just see it through. He's the author of life and death. And if I can get up every morning and I can work towards this goal, I know I can obtain it. Simple. If your support system is what I have, man, please. Don't get me wrong. I got a couple more people in my life that mean so much to me. But those three right there, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. I'm just grateful to God. I really am. I thank Him for putting Shakira in my life. I thank Him for putting Talisha in my life, especially when I needed her the most, when I first moved to Maryland. I would have never wanted to come back to Maryland if I would have never met Talisha. Simple. Simple. Tree Tree was my sister friend back in fifth grade. And when I moved back to Niagara Falls, Tree used to be afraid to go to Buffalo and drive to Buffalo, She was afraid to do that to the point where it's been 10 years now. Shit. Yeah, like 10 years plus. And she moved to Delaware, up and left. You know what I mean? And that showed me like I'm getting the fuck out of Niagara Falls. I am not letting this place keep me trapped. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, they mean so much to me, especially in different eras of my life. I'm so grateful. I don't even have a job. It's been 6 months. I don't even have a job. I'm so grateful to Shakira. You would think she was my man, y'all. The way she take care of me and my kids, like. But anyway, I thank y'all for letting me share my story. I do just want to recap with y'all for a little bit as well before I go. Please choose your circle wisely. Choose your circle wisely, y'all. You can truly elevate your life starting with your words. Your words have power. Your words have meaning. And trust God's plan for all of your relationships, whether it be friendships um, or romantic relationships. Trust God. And don't keep holding on to anything that God has already taken from you. Okay? Let it go. All right, y'all. So, next episode, we will be touching on um, a bit about like making mistakes and learning from them as well. So, I hope to see y'all in the next episode of Oz Got Something to Say. Make sure you guys like, share, comment, subscribe. I am streaming on all podcast platforms like Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and I also have a group on Facebook called Oz Got Something to Say, where I'm going to start posting my full episodes. So, all right, y'all. I holla.